Next up, sort of team presenting, I'd like to present Max Schrone and Nick McClellan. Guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, Jake. We have a really big group. We really split up into two, or sort of logistically three different groups looking at how we can predict changes in poverty from satellite light data. So that's the big picture. Nick's group worked on map exploration and understanding the data. And so, Nick, if you want to go ahead and how do you go to the next one?
Sorry, you guys are in different tabs. So we made three different sort of sets of maps, some descriptive maps, some overlays with some of the data, and we did this map just showing basically the 5 years of light data that we had, 2001 to 2002. And I mean, we were going to animate this, but there really wasn't a ton of difference that you see here. We were hoping to see a lot of difference down in the south of Bangladesh related to the 2004 tsunami, but we really didn't see that. But we did see some other interesting visualization. This is poverty change 2001 to 2005. These are just descriptive maps. We also did the number of poor people, and we also added, and that's an estimation of poverty multiplied by the poverty rate. But we did these maps with the light overlay, and it's kind of hard to see maybe on the projector, but you can see, like in this case, like areas where the poverty got worse. There's not a lot of light there. Number of poor as well. And we did, poverty 2001, poverty 2005.
Show also that he's got data in the thing.
Oh, yeah. We've got rollover access to a lot of this descriptive statistics. And all of this we have on our HackPad. Access to electricity. This is an interesting map because it shows, sort of lines up the light, obviously, with where the concentration of access to electricity is. We also mapped literacy and population. And basically, we just got a good kickstart on making some really interesting graphics to join with what Max was doing.
Okay. How do you change? Okay. Is there a button to just switch between them?
It's a little messy, but if you use these two and left and right, will work. There's probably a slicker way.
Got it.
But.
So that's great. So what we were trying to do was split up the work a bit between the folks who were doing the exploratory mapping and some of the folks who were doing the predictive modeling and some more of the data merging. So we had a lot of people writing different models, and some of them were more or less successful. Some of them are still in progress. One of the cleanest ones we found was just looking at predicting poverty levels from light data, assuming you had no other information. Assuming there was no World Bank information, there was nothing else, you actually get a fairly decent approximation to the poverty level within each tiny little upazila within Bangladesh with just that information. Well, obviously, the World Bank already collects higher quality poverty data from the small area census estimation, and the Bangladeshi government they work with them to also collect small census data. So the real question we were trying to answer was, how can we not just get the light to poverty level, but predict changes in poverty from changes in light? So that blue line over there is a bug that shouldn't be there. But you can see from a model that we made that was actually fairly decent, that we're definitely able to make some amount of prediction in the changes in poverty from changes in light, along with census data, along with access to schools and roads. We've definitely found that even if you control for electricity and existing measures that we think correlate with poverty, light is still actually a useful additional information indicator, even apart from anything else. So we've actually started working on a write-up of this, explaining how this could potentially be a useful thing. So anyway, we have a lot more interesting stuff to do. We got a tweet last night from someone sent us a thing from UN Global Pulse of using infrared light as well for doing larger scale poverty work. So we'd love to introduce infrared light. We have more data sources we'd like to include. We think that there's a lot of potential here to make a tool that is very inexpensive and high frequency to get poverty data, even for people who may not otherwise emit information that is easy to pick up with other big data sources. And we, again, if our team could stand up and give us a round of applause, they did a great job with this. Yeah, and Noel, who's here from the World Bank, was extremely useful, both in providing data and also with giving us expertise to understand what we were looking at, how the different poverty measures related. It was extremely helpful. Yeah, thank you.